The teams emerge from the tunnel at Anfield for the 100th meeting here between Liverpool and Manchester United. Emerge from the tunnel. The form book points to nothing but a Liverpool win. They've won all 5 at home this season, while United have failed to win in any of their 4 games on the road. They are also without an away win in the Premier League since March. And United haven't won at Anfield since 2016. But they do say that the form book can go out the window for the derby, and this rivalry is the greatest in English football, even if United's barren spell over the last decade has maybe seen Liverpool's higher profile battles with Manchester be against City, who have won the Premier League 6 times since United last tasted victory at Anfield. Liverpool are unchanged from the side that lost to Chelsea last time out in the Premier League before the international break, so Georgi Mamardashvili continues in goal in the absence of the injured Alisson. Conor Bradley and Milos Kerkez are the fullbacks. Ibrahima Konate has shrugged off a thigh injury that ruled him out of France's 2 fixtures over the break. He's at centre-half with Virgil van Dijk. Ryan Gravenberch partners Alex McAllister in the centre of midfield, and then it's Mo Salah, Dominic Szoboszlai and Cody Gakpo behind Alexander Isak, who's still waiting for his first Premier League goal in Liverpool red. On the bench for Liverpool, Freddie Woodman, Joe Gomez, the £100 million man Florian Wirtz, Federico Chiesa, Curtis Jones, Hugo Ekitike, Andrew Robertson, Jeremy Frimpong and Rio Ngumohoa. For Manchester United, a couple of changes, but Sen Lamens, the Belgian goalkeeper, continues after keeping a clean sheet on his debut against Sunderland. There's a change at the back with Harry Maguire coming in for Lenny Yoro, so he partners Matthias de Ligt and Luke Shaw in the back 3. Ahmed Diallo and Diogo Dalot are the wing-backs, with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes the central midfield players. Brian Mbeumo and Mason Mount continuing the number 10 roles, and there's a change through the middle as Mateus Cunha is played up front and Benjamin Sesko drops to the bench despite scoring in his last couple of outings. On the bench for United, Altay Bayindir, the backup goalkeeper, Noussair Mazraoui, Joshua Zirkzee, Patrick Dorgu, Lenny Yoro, Manuel Ugarte, Aidan Heaven, Benjamin Sesko and Kobbie Mainoo. The referee is Michael Oliver, and he's just done the coin toss with the captains. Bruno Fernandes making his 100th Premier League away start. Of course, he has never tasted victory at Anfield for United. That last win coming back in 2016. Wayne Rooney scoring the winner. Louis van Gaal was the United manager that day. There is perhaps a lucky omen for United. They're wearing white today. They wore white in that fixture in 2016. It's the first time they've worn this new away kit this season. They've played 7 of their previous 8 games in red and played in black away at Brentford, where they were beaten 3-1. But the scrutiny will again be on Ruben Amorim, who's perhaps they had a little bit of the pressure relieved from him by that 2-0 win over Sunderland before the break, and Jim Ratcliffe's subsequent comments about backing his manager. Premier League distraction in terms of the managerial threat turned to Ange Postecoglou, who was sacked after Nottingham Forest's defeat to Chelsea yesterday. The players just taking the knee before kick-off as a show of message to kick racism out of football. And it's Manchester United who get us underway, and Mbeumo passing it back immediately to Lamens, the goalkeeper. He goes long looking for Mount, skips off his head and out for a Liverpool throw-in, which Conor Bradley, the homegrown replacement for Trent Alexander, will take. It falls now for Mbeumo, who plays it back to Casemiro. Now to Dalot, who's playing on the left-hand side. Gets the ball back from Cunha. And then plays it back for a first touch for Luke Shaw, who's playing left of the 3 centre-halves for Manchester United. De Ligt plays it back to Lamens. Van Dijk wins a header above Mbemo. Maguire nods it back. Now Bruno Fernandes pokes it out of space to Diallo. There's a Liverpool man down in backfield, but Mbemo's in the box here, and Mbemo has scored, and what a start for Manchester United. 61 seconds on the clock, and Brian Mbemo fires the ball through Mamadashvili. There was a Liverpool player down in back play, but United played on, and Diallo slid the ball down the outside. And a dream start for Ruben Amorim's side. It's Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. McAllister getting treatment now. Of course, they're not obliged to put the ball out of play, and to be fair, the game had advanced beyond McAllister, who actually went down in a collision with Mbemo. Mbemo got up. Diallo had a run at Kirkes and played a clever little ball into Mbemo. It was weighted to perfection. And Mbemo fires it through the goalkeeper to score his third Manchester United goal. Mamadashvili might want to have that one back. It flicked off the top of his thigh. But a tremendous start for Manchester United, taking the lead here after 61 seconds. McAllister's still down, by the way, receiving treatment. I'm sure that will be a talking point in Arne Slot's post-match interview. If it is a head injury, the referee is well, yeah, it looks like McAllister. Actually, it's a bit of friendly fire. Virgil van Dijk, an elbow to the back of McAllister's head. And, well, by the letter of the law, Michael Oliver perhaps should have stopped the game there, as they should for head injuries. But, of course, Manchester United, that's not their responsibility. They played on. And, well, Arne Slot's making that point to the referee. It's a head injury. He should have blown the whistle. It certainly wasn't a foul. It was Van Dijk who took out his own man. And I'm sure that will be a talking point. We've still not resumed play, by the way. It's 2.5 minutes now since the goal hit the back of the net. And McAllister still receiving treatment. Scored twice for Argentina in the international break. And he's getting some treatment to the back of his head. Some Vaseline maybe getting rubbed on there. So he's now getting his head. He's getting almost like a hat put on him now. The Arne Slot's speaking to the fourth official on the sideline about that situation. Craig Pawson, the fourth official, and, well, McAllister now has got some quite bizarre helmet-type contraction on. He's actually had to come off to the side, which is interesting, because normally they allow players to remain on the field after such treatment. So we are now back underway. The bottom line is it's Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. And a dream start for Ruben Amorim and his side. Manchester United had only scored 1 in 9 previous visits to Anfield before the 2-2 draw back in January. Szoboszlai now for Liverpool, running through the centre circle, comes out to the left to Kirk as just a scamper after the pass, rolls it back to Gakpo. Another man who's in the goals on international duty, scored 3 in 2 games for the Netherlands. Here is his international teammate Van Dijk. Gravenberch, who was actually forced off at half-time in the Netherlands match against Finland, but has recovered and he's back at full fitness according to Slot for this game. And now Kanate, who himself has had injury concerns, didn't go on international duty with France, but has recovered from the thigh strain picked up against Chelsea. That's a lovely ball forward by Mamastili. And now Gakpo enters the box from the left-hand side. His low cross didn't have much power on it. Maguire clears away. Only found is Kirkes, who's got time to weigh up a cross. It takes a deflection, bounces in the box for Salah, but Bruno Fernandes nips in and clears. And it goes out for a throw-in just inside the United half. Mamastili, though, wonderful ball forward for Gakpo. Might have been at fault for the goal, but almost sent his side in the right direction there. You'd maybe expect Liverpool to monopolise possession anyway, but certainly you expect it now they're trailing 1-0. It's a long time left for Manchester United to be holding out. If that's how they're going to play it, as Kirkes, Gravenberch and Van Dijk just enjoy a little triangle of passing inside the United half, and then Gravenberch tries a ambitious ball to the right in aiming for Bradley. He sails out for a goal kick. So Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. Some question marks over whether the play should have stopped with McAllister down, but Michael Oliver perhaps didn't realise it was a head injury. I'm not sure anybody did. Maybe just the stroke of fortune that Ruben Amorim needs. The Manchester United manager under pressure. Certainly a win at Anfield would help relieve some of that. Kirkes with a throw-in just inside the United half. Goes long. Oh, he was trying to go long and the ball slipped out of his hands for a foul throw-in. Maybe some surprise that Harry Maguire was selected ahead of Lenny Yoro. Remember in his pre-match interview stating that Maguire's experience and also his threat from set pieces was a reason he was in the team. Dalot has just fouled Bradley inside the Liverpool half. Gravenberch back to Conor Bradley. Now Gravenberch again gets away from Bruno Fernandes. And now McAllister's wearing that black helmet type contraption. Now Kirkes tries to get round De Ligt. De Ligt's too strong and it's a goal kick. It's the longest run Manchester United have had without an away win in the league since 1989. 8 games now since they beat Ruud van Nistelrooy's Leicester back in March. Here's Isak. First touch for him goes down the right-hand side. Good covering by Bruno Fernandes. Should have maybe used his goalkeeper, Bruno, there, and in the end has to concede a throw-in, and he just gestured to his goalkeeper as if to say, you should have given me a better angle than that, as a foul has now been committed by McAllister on Cunha, much to McAllister's disbelief. It appeared to be a 50-50 collision, if anything, but McAllister's the one who it's gone against. Well, actually, Casemiro, it looked like Casemiro fouled McAllister, which is what caused the Argentine to go into Cunha. And in fact, the referee's not given a free kick, he's given a drop ball, and he's dropped it at the feet of Harry Maguire. He goes back to the Lamens. The goalkeeper. £18 million signing from Royal Antwerp. Earlier in his career, he was a backup to former Liverpool goalkeeper Simon Mignolet at Club Brugge. Free kick for Manchester United, just 10 yards inside the Liverpool half, which Bruno Fernandes will go and take. This white United kit this year's got flashes of purple in it. They're going to send a few men up from the back here. A windy day at Anfield. Liverpool lost the last 3 games in all competitions. The defensive line is stationed a couple of yards outside the penalty area. Fernandes clips it towards Maguire, who wins the first header. Boslai wins the second header. Mount keeps it alive for United, but then Isak with a good header clear. Mount then clips it back over the top, looking for Cunha, but there'll be too much on that, and it goes all the way through for Mamadashvili. Kirkes to Gakpo on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Just that one shot in the match so far, and it resulted in a goal inside the opening 61 seconds for Brian Mbeumo. Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. Van Dijk plays it through to McAllister. That looked like handball by De Ligt, and indeed Michael Oliver has blown his whistle. There's little De Ligt could have done about it, but it was handball. McAllister was beaten to the pass forward by Van Dijk and flicked up off him. Looks a bit like something from Silence of the Lambs, McAllister. Free kick then for Liverpool. Boslai and Salah stood over it. It's Salah with a curling delivery, and sneaking around the back post is Van Dijk, but a diving header he can't direct on goal. Good delivery from Mo Salah. Van Dijk was always stretching, and it was probably 7 or 8 yards wide of the goal. Lammon's still untested, the Manchester United goalkeeper. No one scored more goals in this fixture than Mo Salah. 16 times he scored against Manchester United. He's only scored once this season, as he just chases down a under-hit back pass that Maguire is able to shield from him. Now Cunha, the other change for Manchester United, him playing through the middle rather than Sesko, who'd scored in each of his last 2 appearances. Here is Cunha. Tried to get beyond McAllister, but Van Dijk stole in and cleared it forward. Diallo to De Ligt, forced back to Lammens. Wears the number 31 jersey for Manchester United. Of course, Andre Onana shipped out on loan. Alcibiades, the man who wears the number 1 jersey, but he hasn't played since the 3-1 defeat against Brentford at the end of September. Kirkes to Gakpo. Cuts inside of Amad Diallo, but Manchester United staying organised behind the ball. So Boslai with a nice crossfield pass out to Salah, tight to the right touchline. Salah almost lets his touch get away from him, and that enables Dalot to get in there. And Dalot's kept it away from Bradley. Mount plays it back to Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United have got out of a hole really well there, and Diallo's driving them forward. Clips it crossfield for Dalot, who scampers after it, is able to control it. The ball goes out. Here's Kirkes. Now, Gravenberch to Konate. Here's Gakpo on the left-hand side, plays it inside to Gravenberch. Now Van Dijk. Now Bradley. Liverpool trying to find some space on the right-hand side. Bradley's low cross, cleared out by Maguire. Bradley takes a ball off the cone. They have the multi-ball system these days in the Premier League. Now some space in the box for Isak. He pulls it back towards Salah. And Shaw gets an important foot in there. Lamens dives on the loose ball. First real penalty box action we've seen from a Liverpool point of view. Now Konate goes back to Mamardashvili, who other than pick the ball out of his net hasn't had a great deal to do. Gravenberch allowed to travel 30 yards unopposed. He slides it forward to McAllister. Now Gakpo on the left corner of the penalty area. Clips across in. It's blocked by Amad Diallo. And then Lamens prevents it going out for a corner. And Diallo very keen to point out that the ball hit his arm, but his arm was within his chest. They might have a look at that. There was a couple of appeals. He was close range. Well, I wonder if the referee's had a word in his ear. Falls under the seen them given category, that one for me. Van Dijk heads the ball away. Szoboszlai to Kerkez, back to Szoboszlai. He's under pressure from Casemiro. Casemiro fouls the Hungarian. Yeah, Amad Diallo was very keen to point out that his arm was by his body, and that is a fair argument. Here's Conor Bradley. You just sense that, well, Liverpool, while they're monopolising possession, can Manchester United allow them to do that for the entirety of the game? They're staying patient, Liverpool. They've had 59% of the ball so far. As Diallo throws it in for Bruno Fernandes, and maybe Manchester United will have their opportunity with the ball at their feet. Maguire to Shaw, the press from Liverpool forcing them back. Casemiro to Dalot. Dalot plays it down the line for Mount. That's asked a lot of him. Konate comes across, but Mount, well, Konate with a good bit of defending, strong, kept Mount away from the ball, and Liverpool can try and come out, but they give the ball away, and Manchester United give it them straight back. And now there's some space for Salah, who puts a lovely ball into Gakpo. Wonderful first touch by Gakpo. Oh, he's hit the post. That would have been a lovely goal. A crisp as you like pass by Mo Salah, and a wonderful first touch by Gakpo. He hit it with his second, and it's come flush off the face of the post. That's the closest Liverpool have come to an equaliser. 20 minutes on the clock. Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. Szoboszlai plays it into Salah, appeals for offside. Flag stays down. Salah under pressure now from Casemiro. Still got it, Mo Salah, and him and Casemiro have gone down, and well, that ball's not gone out. The whole ball has to go. It practically stopped millimetres out from going for a corner. Liverpool retain possession, but they've now been forced back to Kanate. Here is Szoboszlai. That cross is overhit. Will come all the way out to the near side for a throw-in. The routine chants in honour of Diogo Jota go round the ground at Anfield. Kirkes recovers the ball at left back for the home side, who hit the post just moments ago through Cody Gakpo. Go in the stats as a shot off target. He couldn't get any closer. Now Kirkes to Cody Gakpo. Gravenberch. Into McAllister. Sharp pass into Gakpo, who tries to poke it forward for Szoboszlai. It runs through to Lammens. Shaw has to deal with the ball played through. Lammens with a bit of a scruffy clearance. It actually turned into a really good pass to Dalot. I'm not sure whether he intended that. Maguire and Shaw almost play their way into trouble. Shaw turns sharply away from Maguire. Finds Dalot. Ruben Amorim will not want to have too many moments like that for the remainder of the game. Crossfield pass from Bruno Fernandes to Diallo, who's got space on the right-hand side. He comes into the box, running at Kirkes. Sets it back for Bruno Fernandes. Flashes a shot wide. Good chance for Manchester United. Fernandes has his head in his hands. It was a good searching ball by him in the first place that created the space for Amad Diallo, who backed Kirkes into the box and set it up nicely for Fernandes. He fired it just wide of Mamardashvili's left-hand post. But a really good chance for the Manchester United captain. Keeper was beaten. Oh, it's actually hit. It's glanced the outside of the post on its way through. Very, very close from Bruno Fernandes. Both he and Ruben Amorim with the head in the hands. So both sides have hit the woodwork now. Gakpo under pressure from Amad Diallo. Appears to run out of pitch. He does. Doesn't agree with the linesman's decision. But good bit of defensive work by Amad Diallo. Only scored 2 goals away from home this season in the league. United lost 3-1 at Brentford and drew 1-1 at Fulham. Perhaps concerningly for Liverpool, they've lost 3 in a row. To go 4 in a row would be quite the crisis by their standards. Lost the last 2 Premier League games to Chelsea and Crystal Palace, and then lost in Champions League to Galatasaray as McAllister pokes a shot through a defender but didn't get enough power on it. It's a comfortable save for Lammens. Here's Mbeumo, the run of Cunha. Good cross by Cunha. Oh, Mamardashvili got to the cross but spilt it, and then Mount with an instinctive flick just backheeled it over the crossbar. Manchester United getting some joy down their right-hand side, and Mbeumo would drag Van Dijk out. Found Cunha, decent ball in. Mamardashvili couldn't keep hold of it. Here now comes Cunha. Good footing by Kirkes, but it might fall to Mbeumo. Good bit of goalkeeping by Mamardashvili. And Mount shoots. Good save by the goalkeeper. Cunha. He's got Diallo for support. Plays it across for Dalot, who misses his kick. Dalot recovers the ball. Plays it back to Luke Shaw. Now Dalot again. Out to Luke Shaw again. Now Casemiro. But 2 chances in no time there for Manchester United. Mamardashvili with a good one-on-one save to deny Mbeumo. Here's Luke Shaw. Concedes a throw in to Liverpool, but Kirk has a mistake at the back by him. Almost opened the door for Manchester United to take an almost unthinkable 2-0 lead. Konate back to Bradley, who's the only Liverpool outfield player in his own half. He's been joined by a few others now. He's passed it back to Mamardashvili. He's clipped it long, looking for Gakpo. Good header by Diallo. Szoboszlai wins it back for Liverpool in midfield. And now there's some space for Kirkes. Crosses early. It's a decent ball. It's a poor clearance by Dalot. Isak with a scruffy shot. It's wide. Poor clearance from Dalot. Isak had time to control it and get a shot away, didn't make a clean connection with it. Did score in the Carabao Cup game against Southampton, the 2-1 win. But still yet to score in the Premier League, albeit it's only his 4th appearance since his arrival from Newcastle. Throw in for Manchester United midway through the Liverpool half. Dalot will take. He's being hurried along by the referee, and in fact the referee is going to have a word with Bruno Fernandes here about something. Maybe to tell them to hurry it along a little bit. Of course, doing so just means that you've wasted even more time. Dalot throws in for Cunha. Gravenberch nips in, clears up the line, manages to keep it in right along the touchline. Luke Shaw will play it back to Lamens. 23-year-old, the Belgian goalkeeper, so he's not a kid anymore, but this will be a big occasion for him. Half an hour on the clock. Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. Both sides have hit the post since Bryan Mbeumo opened the scoring after just 61 seconds. Here is Mbeumo. He's got Diallo making a run on his right-hand side. Cunha's there in the middle. In the end, Mbeumo was caught in 2 minds. Never really did one or the other. The pass was neither here or there. Kirkes. Now Konate. Salah clips a ball forward looking for Isak. Maguire has seen him off and it's a goal kick. Casemiro cushions a header to Dalot. Dalot digs the ball out, but Kanate tackles Cunha. Liverpool back in possession. Kirkes into Szoboszlai, back to Van Dijk. Long ball forward, McAllister's made a good run, he lays it off for Isak. Isak first time pass to Gakpo. Has to wait for it to come down, Cody Gakpo. Faced by Bruno Fernandes, who gets a clip on the cross, and it's come off the post. Hooked away by Mount. The attack's still alive for Liverpool. Kirkes to Gakpo. Right foot cross this time. Salah peels away at the back post, heads goalwards. It's caught by Lamens. But we've had another strike of the woodwork. Gakpo. His cross was just flicked up off Bruno Fernandes and went goalwards. Luke Shaw couldn't get back to it, and it came off the woodwork. Ball forward to Salah, he can't keep it. Throw in for Manchester United. A few Liverpool fans a bit unhappy with him pinching a few yards, and also with the time it's taken. Cunha and Casemiro almost getting each other's way. The ball's back with Lamens. Searching ball upfield for Mbemo. Van Dijk wins the header, but Manchester United will take that. It's a throw in. De Ligt just comes over to have a word with Ruben Amorim. As McAllister wrestles past Mbemo. Gakpo plays a pass inside, but gives it straight to Bruno Fernandes. Now Mason Mount back to Mbemo. Manchester United decide to settle in possession. Diallo back down the line to Mbemo, keeps it in, but tackled by Kirkes, who actually wins the throw in. Looks like Mount has just gone a bit more central now, and Cunha's swapped with him and gone out onto the left-hand side. Kanate, slide rule pass to Isak behind Luke Shaw. Keeper stays on his line and makes a really good save. Lamens, excellent save with his legs. It was a nice pass down the right channel by Kanate. Isak running in behind Luke Shaw. Goalkeeper, you might question him staying on his line, but it turned out to be the right decision. He saved well with his right leg to deny the Swedish striker. And that's the best save of the match so far. Peter Schmeichel in the crowd, the Manchester United fans serenading Lamens in his name on his home debut against Sunderland. Now Salah chests the ball well on the right hand side, level with the penalty edge of the penalty area. Measures a cross in, it's cleared by Casemiro. Cunha gets the loose ball, dribbles out a little bit of a cul-de-sac, and now tries to find some open space. Kanate isn't going to let him find some open space though, and Cunha goes to ground trying to buy a cheap free kick that the referee wasn't falling for. Nine minutes left of the first half. Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. Bryan Mbemo's goal after 61 seconds has given United the lead. We've seen a fairly open game with the woodworks being hit 3 times, twice by Liverpool. Cody Gakpo on both occasions, and once by Bruno Fernandes, who had a shot clipped the outside of the post. Lamens with a really good save to deny Isak, and Mamadashvili with an important save to deny Mbemo. Gakpo saves a goal kick, but concedes a throw-in right by the corner flag. Isak Sweden team not going to qualify for the World Cup, barring a minor miracle. Their manager John Dahl Tomasson sacked after their most recent international, which was a 1-0 defeat to Kosovo. Foul by Mbemo on Gakpo. Mbemo thought he'd been pulled down by Kerkez and then kicked Gakpo while he was on the floor. So a chance for Liverpool to get the ball in from Szoboszlai, yard or two in from the left touchline. Players in and around the penalty spot. Man goes down. It's headed out by De Ligt, only as far as Conor Bradley. He tries to find space, gets away from Diallo, heading towards the byline. His cross is blocked by Dallo, and we have a corner, the first corner of the match. Szoboszlai over to Tate, the right-hand side. Van Dijk, Konate, Isak, Gakpo, Kerkez, Salah all in there, headed out by Casemiro, only back to Szoboszlai, who controls it beautifully on his chest. Plays it back to Bradley. Bradley's deep cross towards Van Dijk, who gets away from Shaw, but can only head straight at Lamens. Lamens was hoping to bowl it out quickly. To Diallo, but Cunha got in his way and the ball nearly bobbled from the Belgian's grasp, but eventually he kicks it away and Manchester United have it now in the Liverpool half with Mbemo. Back to Bruno Fernandes, turns away from Szoboszlai, who clips him, and Manchester United have a free kick. Just stood on his toe there. Szoboszlai. Fernandes feeling that one. But he'll be okay to get up and take the free kick. Manchester United's chance to get some bodies into the box. A bit deeper out this free kick than the Liverpool one just a few moments ago. So Liverpool stationed on the edge of their penalty area. Fernandes towards the front post. It takes a flick and it lands on the roof of the net. Gakpo it was. Almost put through his own goal. Whether Fernandes just caught them unawares. It was a low ball towards the front post and Gakpo had a real slice at it. And it had beaten the goalkeeper but landed on the roof of the net. And Manchester United, moments after Liverpool had their first corner, Manchester United have their own. Fernandes goes over to take on the Manchester United left-hand side. Maguire, Casemiro, Dallo, Shaw, all in there. Fernandes delivers and headed out from under his own crossbar by Konate. And it'll be another Manchester United corner. Good delivery from Bruno Fernandes. Mentioned earlier that Ruben Amorim had said that Harry Maguire was in the team because of his threat from set pieces, and he was there waiting for that. And Mbemo's going to take the next corner, so it'll be an in-swinger again, this time left-footed. Cunha in the box as well. It's not the best delivery from Mbemo. It's headed out at the front post by Kerkez, who does a really good job in chasing his own headed clearance. Forces Diallo all the way back to Lamens. Lamens goes long. Headed out by Konate. Casemiro finds Mount. And Manchester United settle back in possession. Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro in a pocket of space. Plays it to Mason Mount. Now Luke Shaw. Tight to the left touchline. Drops it off for Mount. Now Dallo. Here's Cunha, good foot in by Kanate. Diallo plays it back to Fernandes. Crisp pass from Fernandes. Cunha did well to chest it down for Mbeumo. And now some space for Mateus Cunha. Shoots left-footed, doesn't get enough of his foot around it. And it's a good couple of yards wide of Mamadashvili's goal. Just stumbled as he took in the pass from Fernandes, which just meant he didn't have as much room as he might have had it been a clean take. Now Bruno Fernandes. Mount plays a ball looking for Dalot. Good covering defending from Kanate, who's being kept busy at the back for Liverpool. Out of contract at the end of the season, Kanate. The long throw comes in from Dalot. It's flicked on. Casemiro might get to it. He doesn't. Mamadashvili scoops it up. Here is Bradley running at Dalot. Bit of a tangle of legs. Bradley heads towards the corner flag. Now comes back up, finds Gravenberch. Gravenberch on the edge of the box, put under pressure, slides it across to Kerkez. Kerkez crosses the ball in, headed out by Shaw. Now Diallo. Back to goal. Not much in the way of support, flicks it up and then clears it out for a throw-in. There's 2 balls on the pitch. So we'll have a stoppage as one of them is cleared off it. Here's Kerkez in the final minute of the first half. Crosses in. Casemiro misses the clearance. Dalot's clearance was far from convincing, but it landed kindly for Bruno Fernandes, who now plays a long ball forward for Mbeumo. Van Dijk gets across and hooks the ball out for a throw-in. Diallo will take the throw. Expect we'll have a decent amount of injury time at the end of the first half. Had that long stoppage after the goal with McAllister receiving treatment. The board goes up and we've got 4 minutes added on time. That goal from Mbeumo, not quite the quickest goal in this fixture, the second quickest after Nicky Butt in October 1995. Bradley's cross put behind by De Ligt. I think that'll be a corner. The officials are just debating. In fact, no, it looks like it's going to be a throw-in. Szoboszlai finds some space for Bradley, who finds Gravenberch on the right corner of the penalty area. Now Van Dijk to Kerkez. Out to Gakpo. Hit the post twice, Gakpo, in the first half. Runs at Diallo. Has his cross blocked, and it'll be a Liverpool corner. Despite Diallo's protestations. Gakpo to take the corner then from the Liverpool left-hand side. Decent delivery. Maguire heads out. Isak, well, Hammers it all the way back to Mamardashvili, who launches it back forward. Gakpo battles with Bruno Fernandes. It ricochets off Casemiro back to Gakpo. He pulls it back to Van Dijk. Left-footed cross by Virgil van Dijk. Headed out by Dalot. Only as far as Bradley on the edge of the box. He plays it to Mo Salah. Salah cuts in. Clips a left-footed cross in. Casemiro goes down. He wins the header anyway, but he's bought the free kick. Gakpo shakes his head. That might just be that from Manchester United point of view in terms of defending in this first half. Lamens goes long. Kanate wins a header above Cunha. Casemiro chests it down on halfway. Isak gets between man and ball, but Casemiro is able to poke it away from him. And now Mbemo holds the ball up away from Van Dijk to Cunha. Across to Bruno Fernandes. Here's the one last chance at the end of the first half for Manchester United. Diallo skips past Kerkez, who dove in. Kerkez gets back at him to shut down his angle. Now Mbemo. Diallo has another run at Kerkez. This time Kerkez gets between man and ball and then goes to ground for a free kick. Left-footed Mamardashvili clips it long. Isak will give chase right to the corner. De Ligt hammers it back upfield. And Bemo wins the header, but can only find Szoboszlai. Is there a chance for Liverpool here right at the death? Bradley, his touch is heavy and invites a good sliding tackle in from Luke Shaw. Kanate to Salah. First time pass cleared by Maguire. And then Mbemo tees it for Dalot. Cunha with a block tackle. Runs out of pitch. And runs out of time because Michael Oliver blows the half-time whistle. Manchester United with a dream start to this match. Scored after 61 seconds through Bryan Mbemo after Amad Diallo's slide rule pass. The woodwork's been struck 3 times. Cody Gakpo curled a right foot shot after a wonderful first touch that beat Lamens but came off the post. Gakpo also had a cross deflected by Bruno Fernandes that hit the post, and Fernandes himself at the other end clipped the outside of the post with a first time shot. Lamens saved well from Isak for the other notable chance in the half. But the half-time score at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. in almost 10 years. Liverpool on the attack. Gakpo. Now Kanate. Salah plays it through the legs of Dalot to Bradley. Mount with a good bit of defending. No subs at half time. Came off it to score against Crystal Palace and also scored earlier in the season in the win over Bournemouth off the bench. Here's Bruno Fernandes, who's fouled by Gakpo. Right in the centre of the Liverpool half. Right on the edge of shooting distance, to be honest. Oh, you're not having a shot from there, surely. They're going to have to cross it in Mbeumo and Fernandes. Fernandes plays his disguise pass out right to Diallo, who Liverpool had left free. Diallo plays it back to Fernandes. His cross is shut down by McAllister, and now Liverpool will come on a counter-attack. McAllister and Gakpo, joined by Gravenberch. He slides it forward for Gakpo. Good covering from Luke Shaw, and Shaw gets a free kick off Gakpo. Gakpo, well, the referee's not on Gakpo's Christmas card list at the moment. But it was a nice idea for Manchester United, but Fernandes, the pass back to him was perhaps a little slow. He had to wait for it a little bit, and that enabled McAllister to come in and block the cross. Bryan Mbeumo and Mason Mount leading the Manchester United chase back. Could be a real momentous win for Manchester United and Ruben Amorim's reign if they can hold out and claim 3 points here. Mount hammers it against Gravenberch. De Ligt heads it forward. Szoboszlai just inside the United half. Passes it right to Bradley. Now Kanate. Van Dijk. Now Salah, one-on-one with Dalot. Dalot pokes it out for a throw-in. Isak holds off Shaw, but in fact the referee said Shaw was giving him some illegal attention, and was given a free kick for Liverpool in a decent position. Here's Salah, clips the ball in. Gakpo brings it down, fires on, he's hit the post again, Cody Gakpo. Hit it very well. Lamens was beaten. Now Manchester United come on the counter-attack with Mbeumo. Diallo is running forward. Mbeumo keeps the ball. Gravenberch gets back at him, and Gravenberch with a really good tackle. And he's then fouled himself by Mbeumo's trailing leg. But Cody Gakpo has hit the post 3 times. Salah's ball in. Gakpo brought it down with his thigh, a couple of touches, and then fired it across goal, and it hits the post. Lamens well beaten. Fernandes was there on the line as well. But maybe for Cody Gakpo, it's just not his day. Gravenberch has stayed down here. it was an unintentional connection from Mbemo, who Gravenberch had tackled. He was helped off, as I mentioned earlier, in the international break through injury, Gravenberch, but we'll be hoping that this isn't the end of his afternoon. Wirtz is out warming up. Andrew Robertson there as well. He's certainly moving gingerly, Gravenberch. Dalot clears the ball forward, and Bemo's going to give it chase. Mamardashvili, well outside of his penalty area, just hammers it back forward for Liverpool. Cunha beaten to it by Szoboszlai, and then McAllister recovers it for the home side of midfield. Bradley back to Szoboszlai. Now Kerkez. Gakpo was the target for the pass. It was a good tackle by Diallo, who's actually being penalised, I think, here. He's been booked, in fact, Amad Diallo. He got the ball first, but looks like maybe his trailing leg has caught Gakpo. Kerkez's pass just invited Diallo in, and yeah, he got the ball cleanly, Diallo, but I think it's the follow through with his studs up which has counted against him. I don't think he intended to, but well, I don't know. A yellow card anyway for Diallo, his first one of the season. Free kick, dangerous position. Szoboszlai, good delivery. Maguire heads over his own crossbar for a Liverpool corner. Gakpo, looks like Gakpo's going to take. In it comes. It's a deep one. Van Dijk peels away. Salah hits it into the ground and over the bar. Oh, Cunha underjumps his header. Well, as anticipated, Liverpool having a much more of the ball. 61% of it across the entire match, but in the second half they've had a fair bit of it. And now it breaks for Isak. Salah's with him. Isak shoots, blocked at source by Shaw for a Liverpool corner. Encouragement from the Kop as Liverpool search for an equaliser. I've won the last two home games 2-1. They want to make it a hat-trick of 2-1 wins. They certainly hope so. Szoboszlai's corner comes in. It lands at the feet of Matt Referee as blows whistle for a foul on De Ligt. Now Casemiro to Bruno Fernandes. Plays it forward, looking for Cunha. But there's too much on the pass. Goes through to Mamardashvili. He's largely been a spectator in this second half. Here's Mount on the left-hand side. He's got Dalot giving him an overlap for United. Crosses in, good block by the outstretched leg of Gakpo. Now Salah is being chopped down by Casemiro. That'll be a yellow card, I'm sure, for the Brazilian. It's always good value for a yellow card, is the former Real Madrid man. Manchester United prepping a change. Manuel Ugarte. Might even well be for Casemiro. Patrick Dorgu is going to come on as well. Casemiro to be replaced by Ugarte. Wait and see who's going to come on for, or come off, I should say, for Dorgu. It's Amad Diallo who picked up that yellow card for the challenge on Gakpo, so perhaps that was in the mind of Ruben Amorim. I don't think he's too happy with it, Diallo, but it's perhaps a sensible move for Amorim, especially given that these days you've got 5 substitutes. 5 substitutions you can make. So Dorgu will come on. You'd expect him to go over to the left and Diallo to go on the right. And it's Gravenberch to Kerkez. Out wide to Gakpo. He's gone down, but the referee happy with it. Now here's Cunha. Dorgu won't get his first touch because that pass to him is too high. Ball ricochets through and might land for McAllister, who shoots over the bar. There wasn't much on there from a Liverpool point of view, but a poke forward just bounced off a few bodies and landed at the feet of McAllister. Good first touch. His shot was always rising into the Kop end. An hour gone at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. Manchester United making a third change now. Benjamin Sesko is going to come on for Mason Mount. Their one of their big summer signings, the Slovenian. Maybe eyebrows raised that he was dropped from the starting lineup, having scored in each of his last 2 outings. But he's on the field now, and Liverpool are going to respond with 3 changes of their own. Curtis Jones, Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike are all getting ready to come on. Gravenberch is the first to come off. He had a little bit of a knock in a collision with Mbemo. He's not moving too cleverly. Alexis McAllister is another one to make way, still wearing that black head guard that was placed upon him after that collision with Van Dijk in the build-up to the Manchester United opening goal in the first minute of the match. Conor Bradley, the other man to make way, so it'll be interesting to see how Liverpool reorganise here. You'd suggest Jones is going to just like for like switch with Bradley at right back, maybe. Or is Szoboszlai going to drop in there? Here's Dorgu. Good touch by Cunha. Gets him round Wirtz, but good tackle by Konate. And now Szoboszlai. Does very much look like Szoboszlai's gone to right back. As Ugarte breaks down that threat from Isak. Szoboszlai heads forward. Shaw gets it ahead of Isak, and then Fernandes plays a lovely ball over the top for Mbemo. He brings it down. Mbemo, was he onside? The flag stays down for now. Mbemo digs out a cross. It's too far for Šeško. Now Cunha to Patrick Dorgu, and Fernandes has ghosted into the box. Bruno Fernandes, his left foot shot blocked by Konate. Fernandes just ghosted in there and was found with the pass. Shot was blocked. Manchester United attacking the end where their fans are situated. Dallow's come over to take this long throw from the left-hand side. It's a good throw as well. It's, well, headed out by Van Dijk, who had to stoop for it. Now Ugarte keeps it away from Salah. Luke Shaw plays it across to Mbemo, but there's too much on it. It's behind Mbemo, goes out for a throw-in. Oh, and a quick throw from Kerkez. Miscommunication with Ekitike, just give the ball straight back to Manchester United. Here is Gakpo plays it forward to Ekitike. Good footwork by him. It's going to open up for a shot from Ekitike, but it was always rising. And it's well wide. Now,
welcome to our audio
Here is Van Dijk. Plays it out left to Gakpo, but there's too much on the pass. It's out for a throw-in. Maybe just some signs that Liverpool are getting frustrated. We're midway through the second half and it's still Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. And Bemo's goal in the opening minutes or so of the game. Cunha blocks off Verts, finds Dorgu. Šeško wanted the ball played in behind, it didn't get played, and Fernandez's touch is heavy, gives it away to Isak, and nice layoff by Ekitike to Curtis Jones, who strides forward, plays it in looking for Gakpo, well intercepted by Dalot and tidied up by De Ligt. Now Cunha beats Szoboszlai. Now Dorgu pulled it back. Fernandez was hovering around on the edge of the box, but the pass was just in front of him. And the game just opening up a little bit now. There's not much play in the midfield. It's going end to end. And Ekitike running at Dalot on the left-hand side. Cuts onto his right foot, shoots Ekitike. It's a low shot, but it's wide. And as Ekitike just taking on the mantle from Cody Gakpo as Liverpool's biggest threat. Gakpo's gone a bit more central since Ekitike came on. He's had a couple of sighters now, Ekitike. Scored in his first 3 games for Liverpool, including at Wembley in the Community Shield. Here is Luke Shaw, plays it all the way back to Lammens, the Manchester United goalkeeper. Made a good save from Isak in the first half. Here's Cunha. Oh, he's asked a lot of Dorgu, and Verts is able to win the throw-in for Liverpool. Oh, and again, a poor throw from Liverpool, just giving possession straight back to Manchester United. Not the best pass by Bruno Fernandes, means that De Ligt has to clear it long. 20 minutes to go. Liverpool 0, Manchester United 1. Here is Curtis Jones out to Kerkez. Jones cuts in, plays it to Ekitike. Manchester United got every man behind the ball at the moment. Liverpool got to try and find a way through them. Szoboszlai plays it across to Mo Salah. Back to Szoboszlai. Almost playing that Trent Alexander-Arnold role for Liverpool as Verts whips in a dangerous looking cross. Dalot has headed it right up into the air, and Lammens has leapt for it and caught it, looking for a moment like he'd misjudged it, had to arch his back a little bit to claim the ball. We got there safely in the end. Still yet to concede a goal for Manchester United. Of course, it's only the second game, but here's Cunha back to Ugarte. Now Patrick Dorgu plays it back to Luke Shaw. Maguire goes long. Dorgu will do well to keep this in. Oh, he did actually get to the ball with his left foot, but his touch couldn't keep the... Well, it kept the ball in, but it spun out after his touch. Here's Chiesa for Liverpool. He's coming on off the bench. He's coming on to replace Alexander Isak, whose wait for a Premier League goal in the Liverpool shirt goes on. Chiesa's got 2 in the Premier League this season off the bench, as we mentioned earlier. It'd be a good time to get a third for the Italian. His dad, Enrico. Famous player from the Gazzetta Football Italia days. As a through ball now to Sesko. Important tackle by Canate. Sesko's offside, but for a moment there, it just looked like Sesko had caught the defence napping. In fact, he might have been onside, you know. The flag went up. Dallo played it over. Good first touch from Sesko. It was an excellent tackle by Canate. The flag did go up eventually, but had Sesko scored there, I'm sure it would have been reviewed by VAR, and he might well have been onside. By coming on off the bench, Chiesa's already equalled the Premier League appearances he made in the whole of last season. Just 6 times he featured, and this is his 6th appearance of this campaign. Salah tries to play the ball across the box through the legs of a defender, but straight into the arms of Lamens, but Lamens' kick is far too long for anyone in Manchester United white. Bounces all the way through to Mamadashvili in the other goal. Here's Harry Maguire for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes, his touch gets away from him and Curtis Jones strides forward. He plays it into Chiesa, his first touch. It bounces for Curtis Jones. Manchester United clear. Looked like for a moment there that it was going to open up for Chiesa as now Cunha releases Sesko. There's just too much on the pass. And Mamadashvili sweeps up for Liverpool, who immediately come back on the attack with Curtis Jones. Out to Gakpo. Gakpo clips a ball in towards Salah at the back post. It's too far for Salah. Goes behind for a goal kick, but just a heavy pass by Maguire, and it meant that Bruno Fernandes' touch got away from him, and it nearly created an opportunity for Chiesa. These two, the most successful teams in English football history. 20 top flight titles apiece, but of course Liverpool boast a much more superior record in the European Cup, the Champions League, 6 wins to 3. Szoboszlai inverts, play a nice 1-2 up the line. Szoboszlai then plays a 1-2 with Chiesa, who's caught late from behind and earns a free kick. Szoboszlai trying to make something happen for Liverpool there. Plays the free kick early to Florian Wirtz. Not really got into the game since he came off the bench. Now Curtis Jones drives forward. Still going Jones into the box. Shoots left-footed. Lamens gets down to make a comfortable save. 15 minutes to go. Liverpool 0. Manchester United 1. Manchester United have won just once against Liverpool since March 2018. But thanks to Brian Mbemo's goal here, they're just 15 minutes away from picking up what will be a notable win. Here's Curtis Jones, plays it sideways to Szoboszlai. Now Canate to Van Dijk. Out to Gakpo. Wants to have a run at Diogo Dallo. Gakpo's hit the post 3 times. His low cross this time. Spoons off the left leg of De Ligt. Salah sets it for Szoboszlai, who dummies his way past Agate. Finds Chiesa. Now Salah poked out by Dorgu for a corner. Looked like it was opening up for Liverpool a couple of times there, but on each occasion Manchester United were able to shut them down. Szoboszlai whips in a cross. It's headed out, but it'll be another Liverpool corner. Now Zabozlai whips in a cross. It flicks off the head of Ekatike. Wirtz then tries to head it away. That's a good tackle by Van Dijk to keep Liverpool in possession. And Ekatike plays it round Dorgu, who's on the left side of the penalty area. Cuts in. He's been allowed to cut in. Ekatike still going. It's poked away from him. Wirtz, there's now a scramble of bodies in the box. Wirtz sets it for Chiesa. And Gakpo taps it in, but is he offside? He runs away in celebration. Cody Gakpo, he's hit the post 3 times, but has he now equalised for Liverpool? Chiesa with the assist. It was scrappy in there. But with 13 minutes to go, Liverpool level things up at 1 each. Ekatike's direct run just caused problems. It bounced around everywhere. Wirtz got it out to Chiesa, and Gakpo is onside, so it will count. It was a tap in for him. And the Dutchman levels things up. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 1. Chiesa the substitute with a perfect ball across the box. Put it on a plate for Gakpo. .5 minutes left to play. That goal timed at 77:30. And having led since the opening 61 seconds of the game, Manchester United now find themselves level with the reigning Premier League champions. Here's Sesko. Good hold-up play by him. Cunha plays it into Bruno Fernandes. Now Ugarte. Nice turn. Goes out to Dorgu on the left-hand side. Zabozlai comes across. Chiesa's there as well. Dorgu plays it off Zabozlai for a throw-in. Dorgu taking his time with this throw-in. Going to be a long one into the box. Sesko comes for it. Sorry, it's De Ligt who's come for it. Now Dorgu tries to beat Zabozlai. Excellent defending from Zabozlai. The ball's not going to go out for a corner though, but a free kick will be given in favour of Liverpool. Zabozlai lashes the free kick against Dorgu. And for a throw-in, and Zabozlai there as well. He's tried to be clever and it's backfired. He hammered the free kick against Dorgu. Referee says, well, Dorgu couldn't really get out of the way. Jeremy Frimpong was actually getting ready to come on for Liverpool just before that goal. He was stripped off and ready, but he's being called back to sit on the bench, the Dutch right back. Now Salah. De Ligt intercepts. Kanate plays it forward, but only as far as Ugarte. Oh, loose pass from Ugarte, but Dorgu tackles the ball away from Salah. Can Liverpool find a winner? Here's Zabozlai. Plays it down the right foot. Chiesa. He's got one assist. Can he find another? His left foot cross. Looking for Gakpo. He's cleared by Dalot. Not very convincingly. Curtis Jones. He's been pulling the string since he came off the bench. Now Gakpo back to Curtis Jones. Clips the ball into Salah, who takes it off Chiesa. And then can't prevent it going out for a goal kick. I think he'll apologise to his teammate. Well, he sort of shrugs his shoulders at his teammate. Lenny Yoro getting ready to come on for Manchester United. Ball forward, Maguire wins the header. Manchester United get an advantage. Referee plays it, and now Sesko plays it through for Cunha. Szoboszlai's holding him back. Cunha's still going. Eventually, Kirkes comes over and blocks the shot. Referee, I think he's going to go back, and is he going to give a yellow card? But Maguire was taken out by Ekitike. Nice 1-2 between Fernandes and Sesko, who then released Cunha. Szoboszlai was desperately trying to claw him back, and Kirkes came across to block Cunha's shot. Bruno Fernandes will take the corner from the Manchester United left-hand side. Plays it in low to Mbemo, who hits it first time, and it's blocked by the back of Chiesa. Fernandes then dips it back in, and Maguire! Manchester United have scored! And Harry Maguire, the man who some people questioned why he'd been selected, he's headed home. Potentially a priceless goal. Wonderful cross in by Bruno Fernandes. And Liverpool have to fight back again. It's Liverpool 1, Manchester United 2. And Mbemo, off the corner routine, his shot was blocked. It came back to Bruno Fernandes. It was a great technique from the Portuguese. First time, lofted cross, and Maguire, well, there was three of them queuing up at the back post. And Maguire took charge of the situation and headed down past Mamadashvili into the far corner. And the former Manchester United captain, as he headed the winning goal at Anfield. Lenny Yoro waiting on the touchline as well. Whether it would have been Maguire he was coming on for, we perhaps will never know. But Harry Maguire has potentially headed the winning goal for Manchester United at Anfield. Double change for United in the meantime. Kobbie Mainoo and Lenny Yoro both take to the field. Off come Luke Shaw and Bruno Fernandes, whose last contribution was that assist for Harry Maguire. Frimpong on for Liverpool as well. He's replaced Mohamed Salah on the right hand side for Liverpool, who, having huffed and puffed and finally managed to get back on level terms through Cody Gakpo, who'd earlier hit the post 3 times, have to try and do it again, otherwise they're going to fall to a third successive 2-1 defeat in the Premier League. That was the score they lost to against Palace. It was the score they lost to against Chelsea. And they're currently losing by that score at home to Manchester United. Here is Curtis Jones. Plays it down the line for Gakpo. Now Szoboszlai. Crosses to Frimpong on the right edge of the penalty area. Frimpong wants to run at Dorgu. Gets to the byline. Clips it back up. And Gakpo, that was a chance. He's glanced the header wide. And he knows how good of a chance it was. Good play by Frimpong. Crisp. Good delivery. Gakpo unmarked. Didn't get a good contact on his header. Glances it wide. Will Liverpool get a better chance than that? Good play by Frimpong. Gakpo only 5 yards out in the centre of the goal. He could probably do that 10 times and maybe 7 times he'd find the back of the net. He hung well, but glances the header wide, and big chance for the home side as time ticks on. Frimpong keeps the ball away from Cunha. Good powerful header by Yoro. Falls for Cunha. He's playing out on the left now with Sesko through the middle. Here is Sesko, finds Cunha, treads on the ball, manages to keep it away from Wirtz and wins a free kick. Matheus Cunha just beat Wirtz to that 50-50. We're in the final 3 minutes of the 90. No Bruno Fernandes to take this free kick, so Cunha's going to have to come over to take, and Bemo's there with him as well. Thinking Bemo's decided to take. Not many committed forward for United. Maguire's up there. And it comes left-footed from Mbemo. It's a good delivery, and it's headed over by De Ligt. Good ball in from Mbemo from the left. Maybe just came off the top of De Ligt's shoulder as it flew over Mamadashvili's crossbar. Here's Kirkes. Plenty of space to travel down the left-hand side. All of a sudden, Liverpool in the final third. Gakpo to Ekitike. Looked lively when he first came on, but has gone a bit quiet. Wirtz tries to find Chiesa. Cleared away by Dorgu, but Manchester United have got nobody up there. Van Dijk's got the freedom of that half of the pitch to recover the ball. Now Curtis Jones. Now Kirkes. Now Van Dijk. Cross to Szoboszlai. Touch almost gets away from him. Invites Igati in. Szoboszlai gets round him, then tries to play a 1-2. Maguire takes charge of the situation and clears. Arne Slot catches the ball on the touchline, then bowls it into Frimpong to take the throw in quickly. Szoboszlai wants to cross from the right. Cunha blocks it off, so he then finds Frimpong instead. Frimpong again wants to have a run at Dorgu. This time Dorgu snaps at him and wins the ball. Sesko's clearance not the best, but Szoboszlai is able to keep it from Dorgu, who's ended up in the Liverpool dugout. Cross from Frimpong, put behind by Dalot for a corner. Well, he might have raised eyebrows at Frimpong coming on for Salah at that time of the game, but he certainly added something a bit different for Liverpool. A couple of dangerous balls in. Are they going to get a chance to find an equaliser off this corner? Gakpo on the far side will take. Right-footed. Every man back for Manchester United. Van Dijk's on the move. In it comes. Van Dijk's there. Lammens makes a good decision to come and punch away. And then Cunha will keep the ball away from Frimpong. He's under pressure though, Cunha. Spins Frimpong. Goes down. Good battle. Referee lets it go on. And Dorgu will find Lenny Yoro. And Yoro will clear. 8 minutes of added on time at the end of the 90. We're just into them now. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 2. Here's Gakpo on the left-hand side. He runs at Dalot. Gets beyond Dalot. Could have gone down Gakpo. Instead he clips it in. Headed out by Yoro. And then Sesko and Mainu combine to retrieve the ball. Sesko tries to play it down the line by Mbemo. Doesn't get enough on it. Intercepted by Curtis Jones. The wave of Liverpool bodies come forward again. Szoboszlai. In the centre of the field, clips it out left to Cody Gakpo. Into the feet of Curtis Jones. Jones keeps it away from Kobbie Mainoo. Wirtz. Szoboszlai wants it to feet, but Wirtz turns the other way. Finds Jones, space to shape a cross. Van Dijk's up there, it's headed out by Yoro. Twice by Yoro. Cunha then heads it out further. That might be a corner. It is a corner. Yoro with two important defensive headers, but the pressure is building in front of the Kop. Corner for Liverpool. Szoboszlai will take on the right hand side. In it comes. Kanate flicks on and Mbemo misses his kick. Dorgu misses his kick. Both of them got away with that. Dorgu eventually clears, and then Mbemo ends up in the front row of the crowd after that challenge by Chiesa. He got a few, I think they were pats on the back. As Szoboszlai chips in across. Maguire maybe unsighted by Yoro in front of him. It glances off his head. It goes behind for another Liverpool corner. We've only had 2 of the 8 added on minutes, and, well, it might feel like a lifetime this for the Manchester United fans at the other end. Gakpo stood over it. Every man in the box practically. Hangs in. Oh, Dorgu's headed it away. It's going to go back to Gakpo. Mainu comes out to him. He's on the left side of the penalty area. Plays it back. It's clipped in by Wirtz. Ugarte half clears. Chiesa keeps it alive. Ugarte chases it back now. Kirkes clips it up, but into the arms of Lamens, who catches the ball and then hits the deck. Lamens hammers the ball long. Anywhere will do for Manchester United. Just to wind down the clock. Frimpong nods it back to Mamadashvili, their goalkeeper. Now Szoboszlai. Has Harry Maguire's header won the game for Manchester United and secured their first away win of the season? Of course, they lost on penalties to Grimsby Town in the Carabao Cup. And in the league, they've just managed that solitary draw against Fulham on their travels. Here's Sesko now. Chiesa gets back at him. Good tackle by Chiesa. He got the assist for Gakpo's equaliser. That's a teasing ball forward by Curtis Jones, but Gakpo can't bring the ball in. He's perhaps deserved better. Gakpo scored a goal and hit the post 3 times, one of which would have been a lovely goal from a Mo Salah pass. Manchester United just taken the sting a little bit out of this injury time. Certainly the way it started couldn't have gone on, but they're now 4 minutes into it, halfway there. Animated Ruben Amorim on the sidelines. They've made all 5 of their changes as well, so he's not got that to break the game up. Here's Kirkes. Now Van Dijk to Szoboszlai. Outright to Frimpong, who'll do well to keep it in. He does keep it in. Dorgu gets to him. Frimpong sticks to his task, goes down, goal kick. Frimpong was convinced he was pulled to ground there by Dorgu, but the linesman who was right there disagreed. And it's a Manchester United goal kick and another opportunity for them to wind down the clock. Sesko wins the header from Lamens' goal kick. Van Dijk keeps it away from Mbeumo. Szoboszlai plays it back to Mamadashvili. 5 of the 8 added minutes now passed. Here's Kirkes again. He's got plenty of space to travel into for Liverpool. He is in a crossing position. His cross is blocked by Kobbie Mainoo, who goes out for a throw-in. Kirkes throws it in quickly for Curtis Jones. Now Kirkes again. Back to Curtis Jones again. Szoboszlai. Van Dijk sweeps it over to Gakpo. Shows too much of it to Dalot. Doesn't need a second invitation. Diogo Dalot hammers it out for another throw-in. There's another ball on the pitch. Chiesa clips the ball in. Headed out by Cunha. And then Sesko puts it out for another Liverpool throw-in. Van Dijk to Curtis Jones. Chiesa. Left foot cross towards Konate. Ugarte heads it out only as far as Frimpong. Frimpong beats Dorgu. Finds Ekitike. Left-footed cross. Mainoo heads it up in the air. Chiesa will gather on the far side. Cuts onto his right foot. A low ball poked away. Not very far by Ugarte. Van Dijk keeps Liverpool in the final third. Chiesa. Clever 1-2 with Wirtz. Wirtz goes to the byline. Stands up De Ligt. Tries to get a cross away, pulls it back for Kirkes, a low cross, good block by Ugarte. And then Mbeumo hooks it away. Manchester United clinging on. Final 90 seconds of the injury time. Still Liverpool 1, Manchester United 2. Chiesa, now Wirtz has found space on the left, pulls it back for Gakpo. He lets it go through his legs and, well, Konate couldn't bring it in. Yoro clears and then Cunha's fouled by Ekitike. Cunha had a sudden burst of cramp there, but maybe that was the chance. Gakpo let the cross run through his legs, but Liverpool couldn't break it in. Has Ruben Amorim masterminded Manchester United's first win at Anfield since 2016? We're in the final of 8 minutes added on. Lamens will take this free kick. He'll just knock it long towards Sesko, headed out by Kanate. Yoro heads it back forward. Dorgu helps it on. Kanate hits it forward. Maguire beaten in the air by Van Dijk. Cunha does well to hold off Chiesa. Now Matheus Cunha loses it to Curtis Jones, who goes down, and it's a free kick. Liverpool have the ball. Szoboszlai wanted to get on with it quickly. And, well, the game stopped because Curtis Jones was down and Cunha was making that point. One last chance for Liverpool to lump the ball forward. Szoboszlai leaves it for Mamardashvili. In fact, Mamardashvili plays it forward to Szoboszlai, who'll clip the ball in. It's blocked by Cunha. Chiesa flicks it on. Van Dijk flicks it on. Kanate was there. Lamens was a bit slow off his line. Mainu clears, but there was a flag up, and there goes the final whistle. Harry Maguire heads the winning goal at Anfield. 7 minutes from time to give Manchester United their first win at the home of Liverpool since 2016. They led after just 62 seconds when Brian Mbeumo fired home from Amad Diallo's through ball. Cody Gakpo hit the post 3 times before finally equalising with 12.5 minutes to go. But United hit Liverpool with a sucker punch at the end to record their first Premier League victory on the road since March. And perhaps a landmark moment in the reign of Ruben Amorim. The final score at Anfield: Liverpool 1,